Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. I hope you all are doing good. Today in this video we would be talking about the former sporting director of Lille, Luis Campos. As many of you must be already knowing, Campos is a man in huge demand this summer. He has been linked to a number of high profile clubs. If we are to believe the rumours, there are quite a few Premier League clubs who are looking at the prospect of gaining the services of this man, and Real Madrid are also one of the clubs who are negotiating with Luis Campos. He has been dubbed as a master of capital gains. Currently, we are hearing he's also in negotiations with Arsenal, so let's see how that works out. But let's try and understand what this man is capable of. We'll talk about the accomplishments of this man, and then of course we'll discuss how he can be a very useful addition to Real Madrid. We'll also touch upon a few words from the press conference of Carlo Ancelloti, and finally we'll discuss the thoughts of Eden Hazard on the new managerial appointment. So we have a lot to discuss, and let's get started. Now before we talk about the recent accomplishments of Luis Campos, let's go back into the history books and have a look at the journey of this man. He was born in Fao, a small coastal town in North Portugal. He played football when he was a lad, but then he went to study physical education at the University of Porto. After graduating there, he tried his hands as a fitness coach, and then finally at the age of 27, he started his managerial career. Over the next 13 years, he coached some modest teams in Portugal, and although he beat Mourinho's Porto, who were on an unbeaten run of 27 games in 2004, Campos never clicked as a manager. He was more famous for getting clubs relegated, and thus he got the nickname Luis Campos, with Campa being a Portuguese word for grave. And this paved the way for Campos to move away from management. He then invested in a restaurant, but his love for football made him set up a company which provided training DVDs and tactical software for football clubs. And then finally in 2012, after being away from managerial role for 7 long years, he returned to the most elite club in the world. As many of you would be knowing, he worked with Jose Mourinho during his time with the Los Blancos, and here we come to know a very interesting thing about Campos. It is said that at Madrid, Campos appeared to be more like a tech nerd rather than one of the world's leading football scouts. He didn't have a pile of notes on various players, but he had all the data on his laptop and iPad, and he made the best use of technology to analyze the quality of the players that he used to scout. And talking about signings, one very notable signing that he recommended during his time at Madrid was the signing of Fabinho, and yes, I'm talking about the same Fabinho of Liverpool. There was a time when Fabinho was young and donned the whites of Madrid, but he was not able to leave an impact. He was shipped back to Brazil, but after Campos left Madrid and joined Monaco, he again bought Fabinho for a very cheap price, and then of course Liverpool bought Fabinho for a price of 50 million. But talking more about the time of Luis Campos at Monaco, he joined the French side in 2013. Initially, he was the advisor of the club president, and in 2014 he became the technical director, and in this year Campos brought in Bernardo Silva from Benfica, which cost him 15 million. He brought in Bakayoko from Rennes for 8 million, Fabinho for 6 million, Lema for 4 million, and Benjamin Mendy for 13 million. So you can see it was Luis Campos who built the Monaco side, which went on to win the French domestic title in the 2016-17 season, and with Mbappe and Radamel Falcao, Monaco also reached the semi-final of the Champions League. It was a great achievement for the club, and later on, they went on to make a huge profit from the sale of these players. But coming back to Campos, after joining Lille, he then played another masterstroke of assembling a great team in a limited budget. Campos oversaw the signing of Benjamin Andre, Jonathan Bamba, Jose Font, Jonathan Ikone, and Yilmaz, whilst also securing sizable transfer fees for Nicolas Pepe and Victor Osimhen. And in this picture, you can see how Campos recruited players in such a way that it ultimately paid huge dividends to the club. The clubs were highly profitable in their transfer dealings, and here I would like to quote a few words of Luis Campos. In an interview, he had spoken about how signings can make or break a club. He had said, "A bad purchase can ruin a club. That is why being a sports director is a very responsible position, and I'm one of those who think that we cannot be immune decision makers. We have to pay the consequences of our actions. Building a good team means knowing how to put the individual a piece of the puzzle at the service of the collective, and knowing how to complete the puzzle. You can buy 11 good players and not build a team." And those are some very true words. A team needs to sign players as per the requirements. There are a lot of factors which need to be analyzed during the transfer. Will the player suit the style of a particular team? Will the player be able to play in his preferred position? Does a particular player have the ability to fill in the gaps in the side? And for a team like Real Madrid, does the new recruit have the mental strength, the character that we talk about, to play and deliver under massive pressure? Many things need to to be considered, and here we have another quote from Luis Campos. He had spoken about how he analyzed the minute details while scouting a player. He had said, "For me, live observations are fundamental. For example, a small detail such as observing how a player warms up before a game or coming on as a substitute reveals much of his character, and character is an essential marker in detecting a top talent." So hearing these words, we can understand that he has a good eye for talent. But coming to how he can be an absolute asset for Real Madrid, we know right now that Real Madrid have a very stringent transfer budget, so it is unlikely that we will have many Galactico-like signings, and getting Mbappe is one of the priorities. But Real Madrid would do themselves a world of good if they can find some hidden gems in the transfer market. In the transfer window, if Real Madrid can bring in some cheap players who have a high ceiling and are somehow away from the hype of the media, then those players possibly can have a huge role to play going forward at Real Madrid. And right now, Luis Campos looks like the perfect man to rescue Real Madrid in this situation. Campos has proven many times that he has an eye for talent, he has unearthed many jewels in the scouting career, and certainly he would do Real Madrid a massive favor by bringing in some quality players with which Carlo Ancelloti can work with. So that is all you need to know about Luis Campos, and now we shall move to our next topic on the agenda, and let's talk about Eden Hazard. Carlo Ancelloti in his first Real Madrid press conference had spoken about how Hazard can become a very important part of the side. He had said he's a top level player, he had problems in his first year, he hasn't reached his full potential yet, but he's going to succeed because he wants to, he's motivated, and this could be a good year for him to reach his full potential. So from those words, it does look like Eden Hazard is on board for his third season at Real Madrid, and although there are many rumors in social media suggesting that Real Madrid will do away with Eden Hazard if a good offer comes their way, but if we do a bit of contemplation, it is highly unlikely that Real Madrid would get a decent offer for a player who has stayed on the sidelines for 2 years. The clubs would be aware of this problem, and right now, the value of Eden Hazard has fallen drastically. But the good news for Hazard is that he would be playing in the Euros, and there he would be getting the opportunity to show that he still has the spark, and definitely he can improve his transfer value there. At the same time, Real Madrid can also start thinking that why sell a top player, especially when he has started to fire. So I do think that Real Madrid will keep faith with Eden Hazard for another year at least, and this surely will be the make or break year for Hazard. If he does well, that would be great for Madrid, but if not, I do see Real Madrid taking up the losses, cut Hazard loose, and start hunting for a new superstar. So the upcoming season is going to be massive for Hazard. This is going to be his last chance, and he would be looking to win over the Madridistas in the upcoming campaign. In his very recent interview, he spoke about the new managerial appointment. He said everyone in Madrid knows what Ancelotti gave to the club in the past. He won Champions League with the group and knows many players. We know he's a very experienced coach, and he knows the city and the fan base. I think we can achieve great things together. He also spoke about how he had heard good things about the new coach. He said Ancelotti is a very friendly person who just wants to win. That's what we all want. We will have the chance to work together, and it's going to be good for me. So definitely Hazard must be looking to avoid the tag of a flop at Madrid. It would be fair to say that during his time here, he has won more critics than supporters. But as I have said before, in football, things can change very quickly. He just needs a good run of games, he needs to score some crucial goals, and that would be a great start to win over the fans and the board members. So let's see what Hazard can conjure with his national team at Euros. Definitely all eyes would be on him, and there is also some good news regarding the fitness coach position at Madrid. Yesterday, Real Madrid made it official that Antonio Pitnus will be the lead physical trainer, and as many of you would be knowing, he was the man in charge of the physical conditioning of the players during Zinedine Zidane's first stint at Madrid, and this indeed is one of the most important signings of the summer. The way we suffered in the previous campaign demanded changes in the training department, and the changes have arrived, Madridistas. Pintus was previously in charge of Inter, and the team only suffered 6 muscular injuries compared to Real Madrid's 56. So definitely Pintus can play a very important role to get the players back to the previous best. The training sessions can directly lead to our players becoming more intense. This can also help in improving the pressing patterns, and Hazard would be hoping that under Pintus he can get his career back on track. So that is all I have in this video. Do let me know your thoughts on the appointment of Pintus and the potential appointment of Luis Campos. I would appreciate your thoughts in the comments below, and also if you like the video, do help me out by hitting the like button. I will see you soon. Till then, take care, glory to Madrid, and as always, a la Madrid.